Hey there folks, and welcome back to the Rome campaign. Last time we continued trying to organize our Greek territories, turning them from a borderland into a eastern core for the Republic. We've had some serious trouble though with the province of Tricornencia in particular, along with to a smaller extent the other Moesia Superior provinces. We have one of our few good finesse characters stationed up here in the middle of nowhere, trying to keep it under control. We've got harsh treatment going. I set up a colony up here to try to add some Romans to even out the average happiness. And I've given these Gordiskians that live here as many civil rights as I could without destroying my own stability. And it's not been enough. The trend here isn't that bad, but it is so far into disloyalty that we're not going to recover this place as a loyal province for quite a long time, let alone just get it to stop trending down. What I could do for the entirety of this 5-year period with the very good charisma of my current consuls, we do have 0.31 tyranny reduction per month, which is quite good at the minute. We could just let the tyranny decline at this brisk pace and hope that we can eventually start to regain control of the situation. But I've actually come up with a better idea, which is something I hadn't really considered before, but after doing some off-camera testing to sort of see how this works, this turns out to be quite a clever move. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically withdraw from the northern part of Moesia Superior, Tricornencia and Dindaria. We're going to be keeping Dardania because of its strategic importance as the road system in the northern portion of Greece, and connecting Illyria and the Macedonian areas will be more useful as well in this episode, as we do have that Illyrian-oriented mission tree to focus on. But up here, this one province we can probably get turned around because it has much more loyalty room before it rebels, and we can again lower our tyranny to get this back under control. It's not the end of the world. This is a good province to still hold on to, but this one territory in Dindaria and the entirety of Tricornencia honestly can be let go of. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go over to my administration tab. We do have a new governor needed for Macedonia, by the way, because one of the new consuls was the Macedonian governor. But over here in Moesia Superior, with Tricornencia, I'm going to go ahead and release a subject. They're going to be releasing as a client state, and initially I hadn't really thought this would be a very good idea for this campaign, because I assumed it's going to release as a Druidic or Zamaloxian, Skordiskian client state that's going to be immediately trying to declare independence from me. It's just going to be a big mess. However, after doing some testing, I was pleasantly surprised to see that what is released is actually the Democratic Republic of Maragum, led by Hellenic Romans with a Hellenic Roman consul, and it's, as a client state, pretty much on board with us. So just like that, we've solved the problem in terms of removing this territory from our own direct control. Now, as a client state, they're going to pay us money every month, 0.68 more than we were getting from this territory, to be completely honest. Of course, we protect them from being attacked, which I would have wanted to do anyways. They join me automatically in wars. They can be integrated in 10 years, so we can come back to this territory. By the time in 10 years, I hope that this territory will be a bit more consolidated, and we're going to be in a better spot to do that integration. They have limited diplomacy, so we have a lot of control over this territory still. They can only export to me for what that's worth, and we use one of our diplomatic slots to maintain this relationship. We have plenty of slots to make use of, so this is not really a big problem. And they can't cancel the relationship without an independence war. So they also get some modifiers for being my client. So this is actually a pretty good deal. In fact, what I'm going to do right away is immediately sell them this one tile in Dindaria so that I'm not in this province at all. This is going to make things a lot simpler down here. So let's go ahead and where's the button? Sell territory. They won't take it for any money, but they will just take it for free, so I may as well do that. And now it's their problem. So one of the best things about this is, first of all, because this tag was created, they got a fort for free in Maragum. I wasn't able to build a fort there because the place was disloyal. So Maragum is now much better protected because it's owned by the Republic of Maragum, but also because this is their capital province, set to 100 loyalty. We have solved the loyalty crisis in Tricornencia, and now these folks are going to be free with their guaranteed 100 loyalty to do all the conversion and assimilation for me for 10 years at the minimum before I just reintegrate them and get the benefit of the work that they just did. So this is actually a pretty good way to resolve this whole problem. And again, they've got all these extra copies of resources that they can sell just to me, so we can get very good trades with them. And then this territory here that I just gave them, it's not set to 100, but because they don't have any of the tyranny that I have, they probably have 0 tyranny, this is really not in a bad shape at all, so they can manage this just fine. I'm not too worried about that. So the Republic of Madagam has been released. They're going to govern Northern Moesia Superior on my behalf. I'm not really planning to expand in this region any further, and I honestly wouldn't have entered it at all if not for the mission tree for Greece kind of making me do that. And now that I have Dardania, I kind of don't want to get rid of it because this is a strategically helpful passageway north around the Macedonian mountains. We're building a road over here, and we can build a road through the center of the mountains, so that will help as well. But there's no reason to give all of this over to Madagam. I don't want them to get too large and become unable to keep their own territory under control. This, I think, should be fine, but if we ultimately do have serious problems maintaining Dardania, we can always give it to Madagam if it comes to it. I don't think it's going to hopefully be necessary. Also, from my testing, I can tell. So they're counting as a city-state right now, which of course isn't true. After 1 day, this should update and their loyalty will also be correctly displayed. They should actually have over 100 loyalty, or over 100 opinion, I mean, and they're going to be a loyal vassal once that all updates. So nothing to worry about there. So we've solved the Trichornencia crisis in a way that's not particularly Roman, but I guess the Romans often didn't conquer people as client states, so releasing people to guard your frontier is a imperialistic strategy that we are going to be making use of here, so that does resolve that problem to be sure. Another thing I want to do, just to, and this isn't really to solve a problem, but to avoid a problem, is I'm going to actually guarantee South Phoenicia and Apamene. These are those nations that I released from the Ptolemaics way back in my previous war with the Ptolemaics, I believe. Yeah, it was from the second war, so it was the previous one. Both of these nations border both the Ptolemaics and the Seleucids, and any future Ptolemaic-Seleucid fights will potentially spill over into these nations that I released. Now, these nations have intelligently allied with and defensively league teamed up with each other. Also, they're both teamed up with Sidon in the league, although Sidon's surrounded by South Phoenicia. So I don't think I need to guarantee Sidon, but I do want to guarantee both Apamene and South Phoenicia, because if I guarantee Apamene and South Phoenicia is attacked, both South Phoenicia and Apamene join in the war, but I don't. And then vice versa if I guarantee South Phoenicia and Apamene is attacked. If the Ptolemaics or the Seleucids have the intelligence to attack Sidon, everyone gets drawn in and I'm not protecting, but I want to keep one diplomatic relationship slot free just in case. But I think that having these be guarantees is a much better use of my many open slots than not honestly using them really for anything. So let's go ahead and get this set up here. They will both accept guarantees, so that is great. I don't know why they wouldn't, but now they've both agreed to it. So we're guaranteeing both of them. I'm fairly confident that the Seleucids and the Ptolemaics won't be comfortable declaring war on a guarantee target from me. I guess we'll see if they draw me into something. I think the Seleucids are more likely to be open to that because they know they're further away from me. I guess we'll see what they do, but what I'm hoping is that this sort of just calms everybody down and keeps the kind of stasis situation that I want to maintain over here in the east, where neither the Seleucids or the Ptolemaics make much more territorial advances on the other, while I'm not ready to go this far east myself. So we'll see what they do. In the meantime, let's continue roading with this army here. We can just head straight down to Apollonia. That sounds fine to me. We may run out of money, but we'll worry about that in just a minute. Before we worry about that, though, let's talk about the bigger worry of this episode, which is the pretty bad government situation that we're in right now. We've got ourselves a pretty weird consular pair, Metius and Agrippa. 5-9, 12-6 is our consular national modifiers there. But as we're going to see, basically everything's going wrong with this current consulship and government. So first things first, let's talk about Metius Cornelius Scipio. 2-3, 12-6, so he does not have it where it counts, except for the fact that I do want high charisma to help me lower tyranny, so that part's pretty good. In terms of his traits, he has Blood of the Claudii, Blood of the Cornelii. He's plain speaking, which adds a +3 dip rep. There are times when matters are just exactly what they seem. For Metius, that is all the time. He's also uncaring, which the relevant modifiers here is reduced cohort loyalty gain chance -0.02, and 5% reduced freeman output for everywhere. That's not so good. But whatever the case, the world could fold in on itself tomorrow for all Metius cares. He's also tactically inflexible, reducing the reinforcement speed of the Italia levy by 10%. Supply lines, routes of retreat, and all-round good planning mean nothing to Metius. He's also self-controlled, and 1 extra zeal for what that's worth, and minus 0.02% population growth in Italia. A life of fulfillment seems to Metius to lack all sense of purpose. And here's the really bad part, he's crafty. 20 corruption by default, this cannot be lowered. He is stuck at 20 corruption. Now I have him getting free hands because he was previously an officer, so we can go ahead and just revoke those for free. So now at least he'll have 20 corruption, and he'll always be 0.19 per month, reducing back down to 20. So at the very least, he won't go above 20 very easily with the anti-corruption that we have. But unfortunately, the set 20 from corruption can't be reduced. So we're going to talk about the effect of this corruption in just a second, because it's pretty bad on our economy. But first things first, as a crafty character, he has extra finesse, and that's basically the last thing I need to note there. Also better enslavement efficiency for what that's worth. Wheedling, conniving, and cunning may not be attractive qualities, but they're never unhelpful ones. And lastly, Scipio is a lunatic, minus 2 to martial and finesse, which certainly isn't helping his stats, but plus 2 to charisma and zeal for what that's worth, and slightly reduced health. Metius Cornelius Scipio is, in no uncertain terms, stark raving bonkers. So pretty interesting character, all things considered. Let's put on some influence here. And yeah. Right, so having said all that, let's go back over to the other console that we've got. Agrippa Fabius Lucanus, 5'9", 4'4", so below average, but he's okay. Blood of the Claudii, Blood of the Fabii, jealous, crafty as well, so set 20 corruption, yikes, and he's tolerant. So the real kicker with this corruption situation is the budgets, because we're paying corrupt characters more in wages. Remember, that's the main downside of corruption for officers. Take a look at these wages. Consul and co-consul are drawing 5.6 and 4.4 gold per month each. The next most expensive officer is my similarly highly corrupt Valeria Prima, the censor, with her 2.67 gold per month, and that's only with 11 corruption. So this is an extreme amount of money, over 10 gold going to just these two consuls. So that's not great, and there's nothing really I can do about this because they're both set to 20 by crafty. The only thing I can really do is in the future try really hard to not have corrupt people become consul, and that's asking a lot for a Rome campaign, but that's the best I can do. We just have to kind of survive this. Fortunately, our economy is in pretty good shape otherwise, so this isn't a huge problem right now, but if we're not careful, this can kind of spiral out of control. Corruption is really hard to get rid of once you accumulate lots of it, similar to tyranny for what that's worth, so we want to be careful for sure. Right, so having said that, we have to assign some new officers and one of our families. I think the Fabii are mad because they have 2 people that are no longer in office. Incidentally, Agrippa being a co-consul doesn't count as an office, which is ridiculous, but whatever the case. So, first of all, the governor of Macedonia needs to be assigned. I think bringing in Fabia Prima, our previous co-consul, and the long-standing governor of Macedonia is a solid option. She is fairly corrupt, but after she gets to 15 corruption, we can stop giving her free hands and impose sanctions to reduce her corruption back down to 0, and I think that's going to probably be the best course here. She's definitely our best finesse character and would give us a good governor for leading a levy. If it came to it, I do think that she would be leading 1 unit, so we could make use of that if it comes down to that. Hopefully it doesn't, but whatever the case, she's a proven governor, and once her family is no longer scorned, things will be in better shape. Now let's check and see what she's done with the policies here. Okay, so Pelagonia does actually have some religious diversity, so we do want to allow her to do that. This is maintainable. Anything under 0.3 reduction is fine for a situation like that. Okay, Emathia, which is below loyalty, is getting whipped, so that's the right call. Illyria Grace is near disloyalty, so it being whipped is fine. Paeonia is neutral with whipping, so we'll leave it as it is. Thessaly and Chalkidiki on encourage trade is an interesting pick. Neither of them have any food problems, so I think this was just a default governor brain. So I have to change these, and it's going to cost me 1 tyranny to change both of them in total, which is really fun how that works. Love that. I like how all of the best actions to take for micro all-cost tyranny. It's funny how that works. All right, well, we got to just do this. I can't. This is a lot of decline rate for a policy that it's not even on assimilation, which at least would be more worth it. But we're going to switch both of these over to harsh treatment. I just need to get this stuff all cleaned up here. Yeah, Thessaly isn't even increasing; it's just at neutral. So, yeah, it is what it is. Righty. So over in the government, we need to have a new augur and a new praetor, and I believe, Yeah, Fabia Secunda with her 8 charisma would be fine as the Praetor, although she is an Optimatus. I kind of want to, I'll talk about this more in a minute, I want to reduce the strength of the Optimatus party prior to the next election, if that's possible. I could bring in the other Fabia Prima. She is the party leader, so having her have a position wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's go for that. I don't think I need super high AE change right this second, and she has so much statesmanship, so let's go for that. Now the Fabii are all happy, or their family is no longer scorned, I guess I should say more accurately. We can now put a very good character like our young Valeria Secunda, who I think I've spotted before. This is an amazing Zeal character, 11 Zeal. Holy moly, and she's a Bonnie as well. Alright, so, and she's also forgiving. My goodness, folks, I'm in love. Put her in there. Let's give her a nice long time to build up statesmanship. So the Omen won't be as strong right away, but that's okay. Speaking of the Omen, now that we've done all that, let's go ahead and see what we want. I think for this 5-year period, our best bet is to honestly go with Westa to get the extra stab chain. It'll be boosted up by the Temple of Lewinium for what that's worth. I think that's probably going to be the right call. For reasons I'll explain in just a minute, I will have to go to war with kind of an unexpected opponent to avoid a potential catastrophe. Remember, I said that I did some playtesting for this before this episode, so I sort of know what's coming up here. But I think Westa does make the most sense just to get us that stab boost. That's what I think I need the most right now. Plus, I would spend my PI to stab the pig and get the bonus from that. I have to spend a lot of PI once I rebuild up my PI, because I had more initially, on doing Discuss Anti-Pirate Laws, which takes an absurd 50 PI to even do. So... it is what it is. I hope this gives me some claims on some Illyrian pirates and I can start fighting over here maybe next episode or something when I have better martial to work with. Whatever the case, with the low martial of my current console, I'm not going to be doing too much warring, at least nothing that is my decision. I may have some non-consensual warring I'll be getting into in just a sec here, and I'll explain that in a minute. But we'll go with Westa for the stab change. This is an episode all about trying to kind of fix the situation, get things back under control. My Navy, I'm going to sort of keep in its sort of unused capacity. I'm going to keep not paying for it that much. But I will increase my maintenance and increase my fort maintenance. Our economy's not going to be in great shape from that. This is what has to happen right now. Because, and let me just finish saying the thing about the Navy. The Navy, I'm going to, once I have... I don't have the kind of pressure that I have right this second to do what I'm about to do. I'll then worry about the Navy, spend some PI, get the naval cost reduction, and finally finish building these fleets. Now, yeah, let's see. No one around here has super serious naval power, but I think ultimately my plan of having the two main classes, and the transport fleet is the right way to approach this, but we'll come back to that later. Whatever the case, for now, what am I doing? I am talking about the Senate, because the Optimatus, who have overwhelmingly taken over the Senate, have themselves a mission that they want us to do, which is to declare war on Wokantia. That's the tribe living in Transalpine and Cisalpine Gaul, and in my experience, this bloodthirsty, warmongering, Optimatus-led Senate will force me to declare war on this tribe basically right away, perhaps not even within the first few months. So the best thing I can do is preemptively get my armies raised, put them on the borders, and prepare for war before the Optimatus force me to do it, so I'm as ready as I can be. Now, I would defeat Wokantia and their alliance member, because they're allied with Etruria. They're also allied with Woludnia, the small tribe in the mountains, and they have a march up here, Abalana, up in the mountains as well. So I have, in my test games, underestimated the strength of this giant tribe. These guys do have a large number of armies to draw from. I suspect they've integrated some of those other populations other than the Lepontics, but even just the Lepontic population is quite large. I'm finding that they have hordes of Gallic forces that I struggle to fight even with my own massive army. So there's a couple options here. One option is I basically power in and try my best to just take some of these forts and get control of the situation with my armies maybe split on either side of the mountains, but that could be kind of dangerous based on the low martial of my current console. Option 2, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my forces in position near, but not directly in, Pisae and Araminium, and basically hide in the fog of war when the war is declared, wait for the Gauls to kind of come into Italy, and start sieging, and then attack them from a defensive position in the siege battles, as it were, or in the town battles. That's probably a better way to approach this, as I want to make sure that I maintain the upper hand. This is not a war about conquest. I will eventually conquer this territory, but I don't feel like I'm in the best position to expand right now, especially not too far astray. I would like to conquer the territory around the Adriatic and connect it with my Illyrian holdings, but I'd rather do the Illyrian mission treaty first and focus on this stuff first, as I have the claims there, than necessarily deal with this territory here. That being said, there's a mixture of Hellenic and Druidic and Illyric religion all over the place. The Venetic tribe over here, who are, well, this is ruled over by Volcantia, but the people here are Venetic population, which means they're also largely Hellenic. So this territory up here, this little exclave, is actually going to be easier for me to overlord over. So there's an argument for going for a peace deal from the Volcantia War, where maybe I try to take the stuff on the Adriatic, so I try and take Wallis, Adni, try to take Olana, which is actually held mostly by Insubria, who's in their own separate alliance network, not connected to the Volcantians. One thing I should probably do, by the way, is get a claim going on Insubria, which I should start now if I plan to actually conquer territory in the war. And I guess what I could do, get the claim going right now. I don't think it'd take that long. Let's see here, for Olana. Obviously I'd like this as well, but that can happen later. 1st of May, 516 is not that far away, honestly. That's a little over... Let's see, that's a little under a year and a half. So the war with Volcantia might still be going on if it's declared early on. I mean, this is ready, so I think let's delay the Illyrian stuff for now. Let's get this claim going. We can also grab this stuff if it's reachable. I don't think it's covered by a fort, so this should be easy to take. And that way we can try our best to, in this episode, conquer our way around the Adriatic in order to start setting up that land connection I want to have around the Adriatic. So that's the plan with that. Now let's go ahead and raise our Italian forces, and I think the plan here should be we raise them maybe at... let's raise them at Clusium, I suppose. Yeah, under the leadership of this Scipio. This is the rare Scipio that has low martial. Under this Scipio, the main problem with the low martial isn't just that in battle we're going to struggle. The morale recovery is going to be really bad, especially outside of our own territory. So recovering morale and manpower will be brutal, hence why I want to have a more defensive posture in this war than I normally would. With my forces together, I could probably punch into Cisalpine Gaul and basically not worry about anything, but 40,000 men led by a bumbling idiot is not going to be as effective as 40,000 men, or rather 43,000 men led by a competent commander. So we just got to try our best here to make do with what we have. I think if I was in Wada Tirana, they wouldn't see me. Maybe I could actually go. Let me go maybe 2 tiles back. I got the road, so I can get there really fast. Let's have you go to Aguium and just wait for them to come to our forts. I do have, good fortification here, and yes, it's true. I don't have full fort coverage over here. However, if they go as far over here, I don't think they're going to ignore Pise or Arminium. I don't think they're going to be that smart. Yeah, I'm fairly confident that they will focus on these because they're right on the border. But if they go through the middle, I'll just go fight them in the middle of Italy. That's not really a huge problem. I'm not going to use my fleet at all in this war. Again, it's going to cost so much money to put them off of decreased pay. And I think that it's better, because with my navies being this strong, the AI will know my naval strength automatically, and they're not going to likely use their navies much because they're afraid of my navies, even if my navies aren't being paid for and used. So the deterrence effect is quite nice. Right, so there's another question of, do I use my mega integration forces led by the actually competent leader Archimedes with his good marshal, and maybe I bring them over if needed, but what I want to do is continue roading for now. I think that's probably a better use for them, and I want to at least finish the road along the coast here. But I could bring them over with my transport fleet if necessary. Actually, I could bring them over with... I guess I would need my transport fleet where I needed to use both these fleets. I could use this fleet, actually, to transport them if needed. But I think we're fine. I think we're fine just to leave it as it is. So, having done all that, I think we're good to go. And to start this episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these forces into position and then declare the war as soon as they're ready. I don't want to go... I guess I could do it now, honestly. I want to make sure that I complete the mission myself so I get more of a bonus. Doing this would give me 10 approval with the Optimates, and they are the most powerful faction right now, so this isn't really a bad idea. Okay, Let's do it. This is not the war I thought I'd be declaring, or I didn't know if I'd be declaring a war at all this episode, but stupid optimatists are forcing my hand. I definitely want to, also, I guess one thing we could do as well is wait maybe one day for the thing with Madgum to be updated. I guess it's going to take a monthly tick. We can probably wait one monthly tick. Oh, hold on. Prominent lawmaker assassinated on the 3rd of January 515, which is actually the date, 3rd of January 239 BCE. The high-ranking Roman censor Valeria Prima was brutally murdered in her home after an important senatorial debate. Valeria Prima has been a fierce advocate for the rights of foreign minorities in Rome, going so far as to propose the formal extension of citizenship to all free men within Roman borders. This rhetoric has angered many conservative senators who were desperate to conserve the ancient status quo. With no clear successor to the ideology of Valeria Prima, her movement, widely popular amongst the lower class, has ground to a halt. With growing unrest among far-flung provinces, the Senate is expected to make a statement today. So this event really sucks. Let's take a look at what our options are here. Option 1, every province without Roman as the dominant culture, which is most of our provinces, it just mentions the Cyclades here as an example, lose 25 loyalty immediately, which incidentally would, I think, cause Bruttium to immediately rebel. It's 25.1 if you see on the right of the screen there. It and Amathia would be very close to rebelling, so that's not good. Also, all of these provinces, this is much worse, gained sympathetic lawmaker assassinated for 10 years, 25% population happiness. If Bruttium and Amathia don't rebel immediately, they would rebel right away with that happiness penalty. And the Valerii gain 100 prestige if we do this, so that's not good. I don't have this is just not feasible for us to do. However, the other option isn't great either. We gain support of minorities, so 3% in unintegrated culture group happiness is great, but this may plunge my nation into a civil war. What this actually does is it starts an event chain where there's waves out of the civil war happening with other costs, but of these two options, this is easily the better one to take. I'm not getting myself this modifier. And these modifiers, by the way, aren't from a modifier that can go away from an event. These are just direct loyalty changes and modifiers given to the provinces, not from a national modifier like this, support of minorities, but from each one individually. So this would be, I'd be stuck with this for 10 years. So ensure that the Valerian bill is passed. That's the way to go. Assassinated at home. Yeah, that is a big shame. She was a really good censor as well, with her 10 charisma. So we need to have a new censor. I think Drusus Valerius Paulus would be fine. He's the Popularis. He's the party leader, actually. This might help the Popularis regain control. I kind of want to switch over to the Popularis being in charge. For what it's worth, by the way, while the Optimatus do have the consulship, we do get the 12% noble output bonus, which is quite nice with our good research right now. So that is handy. But whatever the case, let's put Drusus Valerius Paulus in position here. This looks like it's going to be fine. He does have some corruption, but this is from nefarious tendencies. I can't reduce that no matter what I do. So it is what it is. All right, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, let's continue along here. Collapse of the Dahaean. News has reached us by word of mouth that the once powerful Dahaean have fallen to internal bickering, strife, and wanton power struggles. I'm always tempted to say wanton power struggles. That sounds much more intense. Like it's a battle over the wontons. It's me whenever I go to the Chinese restaurant. It's a wonton power struggle. And wontons are great, by the way. Chinese food's amazing. And that's a side note. If you haven't ever tried Chinese food, it's great. Numerous local chiefdoms have arisen from the ashes of the crisis, perhaps affording an opportunity to their watchful neighbors. The Dahaean still retain a nominal leadership of some of the disparate clans, desperately clinging to their laughable hegemony. Now, as usual, when we get these collapse events, it sort of overstates how bad things are. If we go and look over at the Dahe, they're doing just fine. I don't know what the big fuss is. I don't even know who splintered away from them. I think everyone around them are also of Dahaean culture, so I mean, I'm not really seeing anyone here that seems to be, or that everyone around them is not of Dahaean culture, rather. So these are all Alani. Maybe the Alani split away, but I think these guys were here before. I sort of don't know what the issue is. The Dahe seem to be doing just fine. They're still a major power, so sure, I guess they're having a lot of trouble, allegedly. We'll see. Whatever the case, our folks are nearly in position here. And let's see, has this been updated? It's been updated now. I think I want to declare the war so I get the loyalty boost with the Optimatus, because if they force me to do it, we don't get the same kind of benefit. So, fine, we'll go to war with Wilcantia and their allies, Etruria, Woludnia, and their March Albalana. We'll just wait in the background for their forces to get here and invest in the sieging. I think that's probably fine. Now, the one possible danger here is that the surprise move by having even more numbers than I've seen before in my test games, and we're not able to actually fight them off unless we merge our armies, in which case that'd be fine. But if we can't fight them off after merging our armies, we're going to be in big trouble. Then we call upon the Mega Integration boys to come on over, but I don't think that's going to come to that. Let's go ahead and go for this war. Populares will like this. Oh, I guess the Populares like this too, so that's handy. Alright. Here we go. Now, make sure fleet maintenance is still at low levels. Economy is not in great shape now, but that's because everyone's raised up, so that's not a huge surprise. We can see the effect of this all here. We're all ready. So, we'll just wait in the background for them to come. I think they may be able to spot at least this force here, but they're not going to really go elsewhere except for Pisa. If they go out here, we can just go attack them, and it's going to be fine. I just want them to get bogged down in the siege at Pisa so I can attack them from defensive terrain. With my low martial, I have to take any advantage I can get in this war. And the goal of this war is going to be to end the war. Although, I guess I should say the goal of the war is also to conquer this territory. But first things first, we're going to start things off in this defensive posture, as we're not really ready to make a big attack in. Rauna is completely unfortified, and there's no forts over here at all, so this is going to be really easy to take later. There's really no rush here. I guess what I could do is go for the war target, which is Alpis Maritime, which is where... Oh my gosh, it's over here? What? How is this the war target? I don't know how I got this claim, actually, but I have the claim. This is the war target. I guess I could sail over and grab this, or walk over and grab this to get the war score ticking. Probably worth doing that. Questions. Let me wait for the war to sort of get going, and then we'll potentially send an expedition over to come and easily get this unfortified Massalia. Why does the AI... You've got so many building slots, and none of them are being used for forts. God, the AI never fortifies anything. It's crazy. Alright. Let's progress at speed 3 and just kind of wait and see what happens. Aims of the Optimatus realized. Partisans of the Optimatus are practically falling over each other to congratulate Consul Metius for defending their interests in the Senate of Rome. It seems the decisions of our government have ensured the approval of the interests of the elites for the time being. Right, so if you could just do me a favor and all become Boni and Populares, that'd be nice. I really want to restore the sort of three-way tie between the factions here, but for now, it'd be too much tyranny to interfere directly, so we're going to wait and just kind of see what we can do. Here comes the Etrurian fleet. I don't know where they're going, but they're up to no good. Don't like the look of that so much. Alright, 1 month in, how are we looking? Finish this road. You can finish the next one at least. So we'll do that. Okay. The Gauls may take some time to organize and send their forces down, but I'll just sort of stay posted up. There's no huge rush, and I'd rather fight them on territory that I have better power over, or better control over. Is sailing away. Alright. As expected, I don't think the enemy navies will feel confident to actually do anything, as they're going to know my own naval strength and be scared away. One thing I could do as well is give it maybe one more month and then send the expedition over, maybe even just a small expedition over to drop off and take this stuff. There's a shocking lack of forts over here. Let's crack open the fort map mode and see just what we're dealing with here. Ooh, wow, alright. I'm spotting 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's the capital. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a full, well, technically 10. This will be recovered though by this fort, but there's a lot of provincial capitals that are completely unfortified. Yikes! All right, well, I think we've got ourselves a little mission here. I think this transport fleet's pretty safe just to transport some guys over. I think I might transport over just maybe I just send over 1 horseman, honestly. That might be enough. Maybe 2, just to be on the safe side. It's not a bad idea. Don't want to do this too quickly, though. Let me do it like this, actually. Let me go over and grab maybe... Oh, hold on. I think he's going there, so this should still be safe. Alright, let me send away... I'll send 2 horsemen just to be on the safe side. Have you just walk onto the boats like this. It's only going to be a couple days. And we'll basically have this horse force go over and cause some ruckus over here. Although what I'm going to do is actually have that happen not right away. I'm going to go to Illyria. What time are we getting there? Afterwards. And basically wait there to go do this mission. I want to wait till I see the enemy armies on my borders. Just so these horses don't get killed right away by armies over in this area. It's going to take the Gauls a long time to get organized and sent over to the front, so we can just keep waiting. I don't really like waiting in wartime without any action happening, but this is the best call. Given the low martial, I really should not be overestimating the strength of these armies. These are much weaker than they look because of how bad the martial is. We're going to lose, fights that we should easily win. Also, hello, Egyptian Navy. What are you doing around here? Up to no good, I assume. Alright, you continue roading your way down to Ambracia as best you can. We have to wait a day or so. So, let's just continue waiting. This is what the Optimatus wanted, so I'm doing the will of the Senate right now. It is what it is. Alright. Hello, Spanish fleet. Liberation. The Council of Pise has taken it upon themselves to free a sizable quantity of privately owned slaves. We could intervene if we think it best. Letting slaves get too comfortable could have repercussions. I think I'd rather have the gold right now, just to help with road building. The 5 corruption, remember that we have 0.19 corruption reduction per month on this guy, so he'll go back down to 20 pretty quick, and we'll gain popularity from the war eventually. So, how would our governor manage without slaves? Alright. Egypt, you gotta stop coming over here. You're making me nervous. Alright, we've spotted our first victim. They're coming into the Arminium trap. Let's wait for them to make their way a bit closer. I don't think they see this army yet, assuming that the AI follows line of sight rules. Once they're committed to the move, because there's no road over here, so they're going to be slower than me, we go in for the kill. If we can grab little fights like this, this should be nice and quick. So here comes the Conscripti 2 coming out of the hills at full speed on the roads, coming in quick. These guys are going to have a bad day. This will start giving us a bit of war score as well, which will be nice. Fortress under siege, not for long. Here comes the relief force. These guys are being propelled a bit faster by the velocity of how much they're shitting their pants right now. But that's not going to save them. We're going to catch up to them with plenty of time to spare. Look at this speed. These are some fast legions right here. Or fast, not legions. They are a legion, but we're not. This is some fast levies right here. Alright. Yep, there's the stack wipe I was looking for. That's a good start. We also captured this guy. And we'll just go back and maybe do it again. Although I guess I could push my advantage here. Let me wait a little bit longer and see if I can do this again. The AI could very well send in another army in the exact same way. I don't want to delay too much longer though. The war score is going to add up with them controlling. Oh, alright, I think they spotted my trap. Clever guys. That is Etruria leading this force as well, so Etruria maybe heard about what happened to their legion over here. But let's see if they change their mind and start moving this direction. Oh. Alright, Oratory Advance 8, Country Civil plus 0.50. We also have 1 for innovation. Very nice. I think what I want to do is... I do have a lower research because everyone's raised right now, but what I can do is go over and grab sponsored research for 10% more research points. Merely employing the brightest minds is simply not enough for a nation of our prestige. Instead, we must provide these geniuses with the tools of their craft. This should help out quite a bit with the research rate. It definitely does. Okay. We got 1 stack wipe off. Let's go up and see if we can sack and take Rauna. Although, actually, hold on. Here's a better idea. I'm going to send 1 horse up to try to grab Bononia before my army gets to Rauna, so we can sack it, because it'll be unsackable once we occupy it from Rauna. But this is a bit dangerous, so this horse may get killed out of the fog of war. You guys are probably fine at this point to just go ahead and make your way over to the fort. If we see a large number of forces, I can pull back always, but I think this is fine. At this point as well, I think these forces are in a good position now to embark, and we will go on our little adventure over here. This place is getting obliterated by barbarians, by the way, so that's interesting. So let's go over and grab Massilia for free. There shouldn't really be anyone over there, probably. At this point, they've had a couple months to... Oh, here... Oh, hello. I'm glad I waited, because I think I've just saved myself from being caught off guard by this force when I was in a worse position. They're going to Rauna right now, which means they're probably going to Arminium. So let's actually... Let's come here and just wait for a sec, actually. Okay, Rauna's plains. I'd be crossing a river if I came to it from either of these tiles. Crossing a river, let's see, 5 martial. I probably win this fight, but I'm not even sure that I do, given how bad the martial of Metius Cornelius Scipio really is. I can't believe I'm hesitating about a fight like this, but let's look at the morale. 4.04 at full because of hard difficulty. Only 3.91. We have more right now, but not by the time we get there, probably. Well, maybe by the time we get there. What's their discipline like? It's probably pretty good. Gauls are good at fighting. Man. I would like to take this fight defensively in Arminium, but I don't know if I can pull them over. Let me retreat back to Aguium and see if they come down. I'm not sure. If this was like 12k, I would probably go for it, but I'm hesitant. Okay, they're coming down. Some of them are coming down. This is good. This is perfect. We can do this whole plan again once they get a bit closer. All right, they're all coming down. Good. They're falling for the trap. They didn't hear about what happened to the Etrurians. That was a big mistake. All right. You actually leave behind one horse to capture this. This is the capital of Etruria for some reason, Luna, which is, by the way, a very densely populated settlement, one of the largest settlement tiles I think I've seen in a while. So that's good. Alright, at this point, we can probably just catch them here. So we're going to get a defensive fight in Arminium. Could have gone a little bit sooner, actually. Let's proceed. Legal chicanery. In an outrageous display of brazen ineptitude, Archimedes Fedid challenged the ownership of a holding belonging to Metius Cornelius Scipio this afternoon. With only a set of blatantly forged documents to back up his claim, the proceedings do not last long. Should we press for recompense? This land has belonged to us for generations. Yes, please. Spread the land. I'm not even I'm not even like a pro-holding guy. Like, I'm okay with the holdings going to this guy. Archimedes is much better than our current consul anyways. Alright. We've put that under siege. Very good. Over here, this looks safe, but I'm worried I'm going to start getting my attention split too many ways. So let's proceed carefully and get on to speed 2 now. Alright. I think we're going to catch these guys. Oh, we're definitely going to catch these guys. We could actually let them go in separate times to catch one of them, which would be safer. I'd rather just kill all of them in one go, if that's possible. I think this fight here should be fine. Here we go. We're defending as needed, so we also have a much better composition. Look at how weird their composition is. They've got hunters and heavy cav. It's all mixed together. Weird barbarian strategy. Okay, noticing a problem immediately. We've got reinforcements coming in, and we're not actually winning this fight. Yeah, I can't overstate how bad 2 martial really is here. Yeah, we're gonna have to withdraw after a couple days. That's not good. That is really not good. God, this guy's so bad. Holy crap! All right, come back to Aguium. Oh my god, I killed 3.3k. Yikes! All right, they also killed a lot of heavy infantry as well. That's brutal. Well, we've got ourselves a problem here. I can't win just a basic, easy fight under this stupid consul. I can't... Why are the Optimates such pieces of shit? They forced me to go to war with the largest, like, neighbor that I have when I'm not in a good position for it. Like, Alright. Can I give someone, like, an opposite triumph? Can I have him have, like, a failure parade where everyone makes fun of him? That's what he deserves. Letting down the state right here. Alright, so we've got ourselves a problem now. They're backing away. I think they got scared off a bit, but I'm not sure I can actually defend this with this army, which is definitely not great. Anyways, over on the western front where things are a bit better, the sacking of Luna. Metius Cornelius Scipio has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Luna. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war like the causes back in Roma to admire Matthias greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. Yeah, Luna is extremely large, so we can just go ahead and say none shall hide. Good. Alright, I'm going to keep the boats. I'm going to return the boats, actually, for safety to Ostia. I don't think I need them for these guys here. They should be able to outrun most people as light cav. Alright, you join in with these guys here. This is dicey for sure. Okay, they've returned to Arminium to resiege this again. I may have to pull this force away to do this attack, but I'm not even sure I can do this attack. They've got reinforcements now. I have to wait for this force to recover its morale. Even with both forces together, it's no longer even a sure thing yet. Two martial is just completely out of the question for wars. That's why I've been so careful about wars with low martial leaders. Anyways, sacking of Massalia, at least we got this one as well. Metius Cornelius Scipio has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Massalia. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war like Tricozo's back in Roma to admire Metius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man could cause problems in the future. Potential hide, whatever. Alright, so let's zoom on up and try and grab... Let me think about this. This fort will block that, so there's no reason to even go there. Let me actually go and grab Valentia first, but also have one of you go to Wologate to sack that city, and then we'll swing back over and grab Basio to get the rest of this. Let's hope that there's no one over. It seems like all the Gauls on Earth are here right now, so I think we're going to be in the clear, but definitely a bit dicey. Okay, we've got plenty of money to continue roading now, so that's good. Head down here, also road down to our future planned city of Theorem. This will just be kind of a twin city situation. And then from there, make this little loop. And then from here, road over and connect up with the Heraclea Tracanum thing in Beatia. There we go. That is the plan. Alright, I have to just be zoomed out to see everything right now. Trade with the Yemeni, that's fine. The Senate issues an ultimatum. On behalf of a large Senate majority, Fabia Prima has delivered an ultimatum demanding the immediate revocation of all bills passed during our recent sitting on the legislation informally known as the Walerian Reforms. In addition to the revocation, the rebellious parties have demanded the reinstitution of various land tithes, which were abolished many centuries ago. Fabia Prima ended her monologue with a worrisome reference to the support of not only senators, but much of our military hierarchy as well. So 6 stability, but the chance of a war, so that's probably not going to be what we go for. I think we go for this, honestly. So we lose that support of minorities modifier, we lose 5 stability, so that's not so great. And the worst part, we get 10 years of 10% reduced national tax. However, the chance of a civil war is obviously worse, and I will take my chances. I've got a good economy as it is. We cannot risk civil war over the rights of non-Romans at this time. Yep, that is that. Okay, against 5.5k, surely once we recover our morale, this is going to be fine. Surely. The guy can't screw it up that badly, right? I can only hope. Alright, you did not move. Wow. Was this unit led by a horse? Do you not understand my language? Alright, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. You're moving now. That's what matters. You're moving now. Alright. You can also... Actually, that's held by... Pirates are raiding me now. Alright, whatever. I don't care. Alright, morale's recovering. Unless they get a breach, we should be fine. So, with their sacking of Wologate, Metius Cornelius Scipio has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Wologate. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war like the Causos back in Roma to admire Metius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of one man can cause problems in the future. Alright, none shall hide. Alright. Come and grab their bizarre capital in Lazio of all places. We're getting a lot of war score now, that's good. So we should at least get ourselves to a position where white peace is possible. So we're almost there, so that's a good start. Again, I would like to get some stuff in this war, but I'm not sure I really have the heart to actually conquer territory and try to deal with it right now. I'd have to get a good finesse character to be a governor. I don't even know if I have any characters available that could do that. Let's just see as an example. Any other finesse characters free? I guess Valeria Secunda would be okay. I may actually move Archimedes up there just to have really good... Maybe, I don't know about that, but whatever the case, I'm not sure this is super feasible. I guess I'm getting the claim on... where is it? Getting the claim on Insubria right now, so I may as well conquer up to Insubria, so I at least want to probably grab Wallace Arni and this section of Alauna held by Wakantia, just so I can complete that Adriatic territory that I talked about earlier. We shall see what I end up deciding to go for, but first things first, we have to get the war score before we start making those lofty plans. I think we've successfully managed to surprise them with this horse invasion over in the corner, so that's good. Status quo. I know from experience that, especially with it being overstuffed as a garrison, if I assault this, I'm gonna like lose 10,000 men, go down to 0 morale. I may not even successfully finish the assault. Like I can't overstate how bad 2 Martial is for any military actions, which is why it's so annoying that the Optimators are forcing me to do this stupid war that I don't really want to do. All right, let's just progress. Sacking of Wazio, and we also won at Valentia. Alright, Metius Cornelius Scipio has led his men to glorious victory during the siege of Wazio. The enemy flee in disgrace, and all that is left is to decide on how to treat the residents within. Needless to say, these spoils of war likely to cause those back in Roma to admire Metius greatly, but leaving such wealth in the hands of a man could cause problems in the future. And she'll hide. Destroy everything. Alright, so you guys should both... let's see. Let me think about this. Head over to Teresia, see what you can do. This is another city I could sack. You could also sack... Actually, this is a very small city, so it's not worth it. Mediolanum, though, is a very big city, so we should definitely sack that. Definitely should sack that. Alright, so... 0.66 with reorganization is very bad, and we have to just keep waiting. I'm not making an attack until I have full morale with this army led by this stupid guy. Over here, no breaches or anything. They have a port as well, so I could just send a ship over to blockade it. Probably would be fine. As well, I'm gonna just send the Waiti over to set up a blockade. Let's see if the AI takes the bait. Actually, you know what? They probably would attack, and then I'd lose a ship for no reason. Let me send over all of my ships to set up the blockade to speed this up. They probably won't attack a force that large. I just have to keep an eye out for pirates, because the pirates will... Okay. We've got ourselves a problem here. So, 5 Martial at its most strong, but the numbers is the bigger problem, and it's over 4 morale. Okay, this force actually could probably beat my army in combat. It's larger, it has better martial, and it has better morale. We need to escape. This fleet I'm sending over may transform now into an evacuation fleet, because I don't think I can get ahead of them if I left right now. The one good news is they're going for Luna first, so I don't know if they think that this is not a good fight to take. I suspect the AI wrongly listens to the battle outcome suggestion bubble that pops up that we see as well, that we know doesn't take into account the fort switching who's the defender, because them defending in the plains definitely win. Them attacking into the plains, they probably win as well, so let's just hope we can evacuate in time. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, the fact that I'm running away from Gauls is not a great thing to be dealing with right now. I don't think we're going to get there in time, unfortunately. 6th of September for these guys. Maybe they don't all come in as well, but I'm sure they will join in once the battle begins. Yikes. Okay, they are all joining in. They're all getting here 6th of September. I don't think I'm going to get out of here in time. I mean, maybe? When do you get here? 2nd of September. Alright. Is there any chance 7th of September for one of these, for the horse guy? Yeah, that's not... I mean, okay, we can escape from the battle after 5 days, so that's going to be good, but losing battles at all is not great. These guys are leaving as well, that's interesting. After... give it one more tick. Oh, wait, I just stopped. Okay, for this 1 second while we have all this stuff, we could end the war. We could end the war. Let me think about this. Can I turn this around with... Because it's not that I don't think it's that I'm playing poorly. I really genuinely think it's the absolutely abysmal martial abilities of my main console. There's just no way around that. I'm losing fights that I should easily win. The AI is like stacking up big forces. I don't think we're in a good position to fight this war. I was forced to do this by the stupid Optimatus. That's why I'm going to try to keep the wolves out of power again for a while. This is what they do when they're in power. So, you know what? Let me just go for a white piece. I don't think I could get anything from an alternate piece still either. I guess I could get 857 gold, if I'm reading that right. Do they agree to this? Oh. Okay. This would be fine if they were agreed to this. This feels like not... I'm afraid to touch anything. I think this might be like a... Wait, what? Andros? What? I'm not fighting Andros. Oh, okay, wait. It was just a glitch. It was just a glitch, okay. So let's see what they actually will agree to. Okay, so I think what we saw a second ago was like a weird glitchy version of the screen. But now that I've reset it, this seems a bit more realistic, so I'm actually glad. I mean, I wish I could have gotten more gold, but this is more fair that I've reset it. So they will agree to this deal. 7.58 is not a big deal at all. That's like, what, like 15, 16 months of recovery, that's fine. 190 golds, that's, you know, it's like, you know, for my troubles, you know. And I suspect that imminently, once they inevitably win the fight that's about to happen over at Portus Veneris, they're not going to agree to a peace deal like this, unless I put in a lot more work. So you know what, let's go ahead and just offer this peace. I'll take the money and leave. I got the war declared, which is what the Optimatus wanted. We can just end this war and just leave it as it is. Having truces with these guys is not a big problem at all. Alright. Okay, thank God. Let's get the hell out of this war. Everyone get lowered. Who's left? You finish moving. That's going to be in a few days. Alright, Magna Graecia can continue what they're up to, I suspect. Yeah, they can just keep doing what they're doing. We have a new military tradition available as well. Alrighty. What can we get? I think I'm going down for... What was I going for? Oh, I think I was going for Mare Nostrum before. I suppose I could get State Navy. I could make use of some light ships if they spawn. It spawns in Corinthus, oddly. Ship damage taken reduction, that's pretty good, honestly. During the First Punic War, the Roman Senate mandated the construction of a navy to rival all that of their foes, the Carthaginian Empire. Modeled largely on the Carthaginian designs as well as sporting significant Greek influences, the enthusiasm for naval dominance continued throughout Rome's Republican era. Alright, let's see what this navy we just got happens to be. Interesting, it's a mix of everything. Well, okay. The Liburnian can go join with the transport fleet. So you head back to Ostia. Let's see if these guys won't get killed by pirates on the way over. They probably will be. Alright, you know what? Let me actually bring this force over manually so I don't die to pirates. Alright, so also, what's my truce like with these guys? 5, 23, 22. So it's a pretty long truce. That's okay. I'm gonna get this this claim on Insubria finished, so it's gonna be a bit awkward because I didn't conquer this stuff after all. I was unprepared for how fucking bad this guy is at being a general. Like, holy crap, this is just terrible. So the Insubria claim at least lasts the whole game, so there's not really any problem with having it. So I can just fight them later. It's fine. It's all okay. Everything's fine. Everyone stop getting paid for, though. Alright, you finish, and then get disbanded. Alright. War's over. You just finish roading over here. Once I get this road finished, I'll then hop down and build a loop around Messenia over to Githium, and then I'll come back up and build a road through the middle mountain area to connect that up as well. Alright, we have a lot of money now, but I don't want to spend on any buildings without the Bonnie in charge. Incidentally, looks like my next consul should be Metius Valerius Lepidus, with Quintus Fabius Gerges being my co-consul with the Popularis. This is a pretty big split in support, so I'm going to wait and see if I can influence this. I really don't want to have another Optimatus ruling period. I want to have the Bani back in charge. I like them. But, well, I'll just have to see. Now I guess we save up our PI for the mission. Discuss anti-pirate laws, which bizarrely costs 50 PI. Still don't know what that's about. Finish moving you. Alright, let's proceed carefully. The pirates, I think, are not going to be a huge issue, so let's head up to Lupe. Alright. I think there's been a mistake here. That's annoying, but it is what it is. The roads mostly look fine, so certainly I've seen worse. Alright, now let's see here. So the one hex ray, actually the hex ray and the tetra ray can both be destroyed. Don't need any more of these ships. And then these 4 triremes can stay with this Placis. The one Liburnian can go over to the transport fleet. That's the way. Actually, I might as well have these 4 go over here. And then I can honestly build some triremes even without the idea in effect. I think that'd be okay. I guess I could switch off of martial ethos pretty safely right now. I guess it's only 20 PI, and I have a lot of money right now. Yeah, let me just finish, just so this is finally over and done with, let me finish building these ships. Alright, so, into the Lassus 1 Lily biome, we're going to have 4 more triremes on the way over. Yeah, so it's, what I'm going to need is, so it'll be those 4, it'll be 8, I need 2 more triremes here. So, maybe 2 triremes. I don't need to add any wood or anything like that. I don't think that's that big of a deal. So 2 triremes there. And then this one over here needs to build 10 full triremes. Not that. Needs to build 10 full triremes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Looks like they're mostly building around this area, so that's good. We have a lot of triremes being built in the same spot. Not really. Seems like it's a pretty diverse set of building. Oh yeah, there's also up on this coast as well. Okay, that's fine. And then the transport fleet needs to grow quite a bit because the Italia levy is so enormous now. I should probably just build it up to like 100 ships just to be on the safe side. It's a massive flotilla. I may not be able to realistically transport the entire Italian army around in one go, but I would like to be able to do that if possible. I suppose what I should do is get it up to 50, and then maybe I just, until my Italian levy is over 100, then I just have the 50 ships transport them in sort of 2 halves. I think that's okay. I don't want to, like, balloon the cost. With that being said, the monthly cost for this entire transport fleet as it is not that much at all. It's really not that bad. So I think I can justify having a full 100 transport ships. It would be satisfying at least. So, alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Why is it only building in these 2 spots? Let's just wait actually until everything else is done building so it uses all of my ports correctly. It's glitching out and building only in those 2 ports. That's not going to work for me, so we'll leave it at that. Alright, 11th of November for you. Okay, we've solved the problem with the Optimatus faction winning war, so that's nice and resolved. Okay. Good, if only the Bani could force me to lose tyranny now, that'd be really cool. We'll see if they somehow manage to pull that off, but don't think that's going to be in the cards, unfortunately. What's Carthage up to? Not sure. Leave it alone for now. Save my PI for the mission so I can advance that. Okay, this guy's finished already. Alright, so let's quickly head down here, not while roading, and build ourselves a network between Messena and Gilliam. because we're going to make a city in Messina. Again, as I think I've said this before, I regret how aggressive my city destruction sort of playstyle has been. I think that I've been overly focused on having exactly perfect cities when that's not feasible a lot of the time. Honestly, cities in forests and mountains, unless there's some really good reason otherwise, are totally fine to get rid of. But cities that are in, coastal plain, that's honestly usually fine. Because the farmland gives you that pop capacity bonus, but plains don't give you a malus, it's just they don't give you a bonus. So, I think it's honestly fine to, for example, Corinthus as a hills tile, technically it doesn't have a pop capacity malus. It just has a movement cost reduction and a civ level malus, which are both not that big of a deal for a city. So having hills cities, especially when there's other good reasons like Corinthus' strategic location, is okay. And I'm going to try my best to not continue my city demoting ways as aggressively as I have been in the past. I think it's just better for the campaign to not have tyranny problems this extreme all the time, to say the least. So we'll eventually start rebuilding some of these cities, places like Sparta and actually we already rebuilt the city in Athenae as it is, but places like Sparta and whatnot, or Gitium, that are good city locations, will build up there given time. I just don't really have the PI to make use of that for now. Gotta continue saving up my PI. Which all makes fighting. Iris Inferioris. Alright, who's that? Oh, alright. Citizens euphoric. The patriotic citizens in Ambracia are ecstatic at our benevolent rule. Okay. In honor of our majesty, they have raised a rather pitiful sum of gold, hoping to procure some political favor. We simply haven't the heart to tell them their gift was a trifle. Not only is Metius like the world's worst commander, it's also a giant greedy asshole. This is a very nice gift. 313 gold, are you kidding me? That's a perfectly welcome gift. I could get some loyalty in Epirus and some loyalty from the governor of Greece, but honestly, this looks fine to me. Although, weirdly, the governor of Greece doesn't like that we do this. He becomes disloyal. No, hold on. 39 is not disloyal. What am I talking about? But he becomes within the range of disloyalty. But I think that's okay still. I think that's okay. Oh well. I'll take the money. Sure. Thanks. Appreciate it. And I guess the question is, should I switch back right away, or should I switch to something else maybe? I could switch down. Martial Ethos is the way to go, honestly, on hard difficulty. Volcantian wants my glass. I think I was trading with them before, so now they're going to have to reestablish all those trades with me. Alright, speaking of which, do I have any missing trades? I do in a couple spots. Alright, let's import whatever we can here to help with the happiness situation. Let's get in some gold. Trade with Moscania, sure. Where else do we have missing trades? Illyria and Gonakia, we have 2 available. I wish I got notified about this stuff. I just have to check it every so often. Trade in some gold for value. Sure. Alright, how about up here? Campania has a bunch available, probably from Pops. Yep. From Pops, let's trade in some more gold. Again, for both value and its benefit for the happiness. Tarentum has 1 more available. You'll never guess. Let's trade in some gold. Scania can bring 1 in too. Alright. Maybe trade in some incense? Sure, yeah. Alright. How about in Italia? Tarentum can get 1 more. Alright. Araminum can be given something as well. Let's give it some food, actually. Yeah, traded some grain up here. Or actually, no. Well, yeah, trading grain from Lemowikia. Alright, and then Macedonia we looked at. Cyclades can get something traded in. They probably are going to want some, maybe some, let's see, what do I want here? Some wine, maybe? Freeman. Kea. You get one more as well. It's well rolled. Alright, that's gonna have to do for now, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we've fixed all the trades, that's good. It should help the economy a little bit. Not by much, but by a little bit. Alright. You finished roading. Alright, this is all looks fine. Okay, so you head back up and let me think about this. Head up to Apollonia and then road through the middle of Macedonia. Then I think I'll probably dismiss you because you've done enough roading for now. That should be fine. Should be nice and quick with the road movements. Alright. Casus Belli on Insubria is done. Can't take advantage of it right now, but I can just later on when I have a good leader to work with. I don't mean this episode to be so full of complaining, but I really, really don't like this character. He's just so bad. I mean, the one good thing he's doing is helping with my tyranny loss, so that's good at least, but at what cost, I ask you. Also, Cosus Valerius Paulus is our next expected consul. I wasn't really expecting that. He's good, but he's an Optimatus. I really would like to not have the Optimatus stay in power any further. Could we do that, please? That'd be really cool if we could do that. I think we're kind of stuck at the minute with this whole situation. Alright. These guys just arrived. Nice and quick. Alright, you get to roading. Road from here. Let me think about this actually. I think I may want to road through this fort actually. So let me go up to here because this way we're equidistant from Lissus and Apollonia. This is also, of course, its own city. And then from here, what's the fastest route? Like that. That's fine, honestly. Yeah, we'll road over to Elamium. We could also road through Edessa to get over to Pella as well. Not a terrible idea, but I think we'll see if that's faster once we do the roading. So let's let that happen there. Number one in the score, very good. Wasn't surprised to see that, but yeah, I feel like with my changing schedule and not being able to play the game as often, it feels frustrating that I'm stuck with this miserable console having to deal with his nonsense. Ugh. Alright, what if the Marin collapse is happening soon? Sort of seems like it. Let's put them on the outliner. Oh my gosh, Seleucids are fighting somebody. These guys are fighting who's this? Media Coro Mithrine. Oh, this is a rebellion. Okay. No wonder they're fighting them. Is this a rebellion as well? I think this is also a rebellion. City-state rebellion. Interesting. Okay. Are these guys being attacked by Lemowick? Yeah, they are. Now, this would have been a good opportunity for me to attack them, so thank you, Optimatus, for screwing everything up and preventing me from going for an actually well-timed war. I'm starting to understand Caesar a bit better. I'm like, or I should say Caesar, because the Optimatus are making me... Huh? Galatia. What's going on, Galatia? What are you doing in my territory? I guess they're exiled. How and why are you exiled on this side of the water? Okay, whatever. I'm not even going to try to figure that one out. Some mysteries are better left unsolved, I think. Alright. Continue along. At least we used some of our manpower, but it didn't feel like a very good use of it. Alright. Let's see here. Seculia is still trending down pretty badly. You know, I should have probably attended to this before I started to get into disloyalty, because now it is actually disloyal. Man. Damn it. Alright, well, we'll bring it back up into loyalty. What about these other places down here? Alright, fine. We'll put them back onto harsh treatment. I wish I could have not had to do that, but as our tyranny declines, this is going to get a little bit easier. a little bit easier, not by much, but a little bit. All right. Now, one possible solution to the problem of bad martial consoles is that I could go for legions. Because I can use legions and still make use of levies if I would like to. There's no reason to not have both if you don't want. But the only problem is switching over to the, where is it? Over here, the Punic reforms. So the downsides with this, you do get a national manpower bonus, which is quite nice. However, the levy size multiplier goes from 7.50 to 2.50. So any levies that you do raise once you allow legions anywhere will be much smaller. But you can make use of that manpower to power up one really strong legion. And so, and I think it is one legion per region, right? I'm fairly sure. I don't remember if you can split the legions and have different legions in the same region. I don't use legions very often, but this is the sort of scenario where we have this extremely powerful Italia manpower base we can use to create an enormous legion, and we can actually customize it ourselves to be really precise for what we want. So that could be quite nice. I just don't really have the brain power right now to do that legion design, because I would need to do some research on the meta and the proper design for legions before I go for that. So we'll wait and see what ends up feeling right later on. All right, you guys are done. If we were in here and we wanted to move it here, this is still faster. It would probably be faster going... Okay, yeah, so I think this is fine. I think this is fine. All right, Archimedes, you are free to go. There he goes. All right. Now that I've finished building all the other navies, let's start doing this correctly. So we need to have, let's see here, 59, ultimately. All right. Yeah, I still do have this in effect, so this is perfect. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. 9. Okay, I think... Oh, what? Why? Why is it doing that? Oh, this game, I swear to God. All right. Why didn't it redistribute properly? I was wondering why these weren't being doubled up. All right, let's... Oh, all right, you know what? Let's just do this in multiple... Yeah, okay. Let's do this in just multiple waves, because this game is not always very well designed in the UI department. You will be shocked to hear me say... First time I've ever commented on this game's UI in a negative manner. Unbelievable, I know, that I may have not positive opinions about this game's user interface. A rare comment from me that this game perhaps has user interface problems, but bitterness aside, we at least have the building orders in place. Let's save up our money. Heresy, Dasha Sid Haka, the first Vijaya, Vijaya the Indian. I guess that's an interesting nickname for him. Surely breathes, bleeds and dies just like any mortal. This is an on-road opera business, so alright, sure. If you say so, on-road opera. Oh my god. Wow, okay. On-road opera is doing pretty well, all things considered. Huh. Okay. Got some big... Oh my god. Ugh. Don't like that. Do not like that. Alright, Zhongnu, you're almost touching Qin. Do your thing, Zhongnu. Please, I beg of you. Put a stop to this business. Alright. Let's just proceed. Yeah, but I am having a lot of fun with the Rome campaign. It's just this particular console is making my is grinding my gears, let's just say. But, you know, this is there's ups and downs to playing as a republic, and you're going to have bad consuls every so often, and a government that you're just struggling to deal with. At least he's giving us a lot of good tyranny reductions, so he does have a purpose. It's just, I would like to have... Can we just please have someone else who's not an optimatus, please? What can I do here, really? I think I've complained about this so much, but... Why can't I just have a breakdown of how the election is being determined, what all the different candidates are? It seems like a basic thing for a game where you play as a republic. Why is it so hard to understand that? And just... Alright. Yeah, Wakantia is getting smacked around by Lemowikia now. Alright. Going on over here? Nothing too interesting. It's been kind of a static position here. All the ships are getting finished. Very nice. Let me start discuss anti-pirate laws. Then I'll spend 20 PI on switching back over to the morale. I don't think I'll need the morale right away, so it shouldn't be a huge problem. We have plenty of PI gain at the minute thanks to all those modifiers. All right. Should be 1 or 2 more months. Hopefully just 1, but I guess we'll see. The anti-piracy law discussion is going to take a full half year as well, so it's going to be a long thing. Also, we can integrate Crete now, I just realized. We're a little past when we could start doing this. May as well start this. Diplomatic annexation allows us to integrate a client state, feudatory, or satrapy into our nation without declaring war. The cost and length of the process will depend on their relevant power, or relative power, rather. Alright. 527 to fully integrate. Sounds fine to me. Here we go. Alright, discuss anti-pirate laws. 50 PI to do this. A debate over this matter will begin in the Roman Senate. The threat posed by the Illyrian pirates is an intolerable one for many reasons. We cannot allow barbarian privateers to harass our coastlines any longer. Surely the Senate will see the wisdom in this course of action. Incidentally, I think it's kind of funny that even though we were just at war with barbarians earlier, it really is the Optimatus faction that is the barbaric entity in this whole situation, forcing me to go to war with these guys when I wasn't ready for it, so... Who's the real barbarians, huh? Alright. Contentious debate. Why did my PI not get spent? Hold on, let's see what these things say. A few weeks ago, the citizens of Roma were greatly disturbed by news that a local trading magnate, Gaius Menericus, had lost 20 ships to pirates based out of Illyria. After this ruinous discovery, Gaius, who was beloved by the common people for his generosity, committed suicide, and the Roman mob has been clamoring for vengeance against these barbarian privateers. Facing mounting public pressure, the Senate has agreed to convene in order to discuss a course of action. Some are advocating for a no-tolerance policy, while others argue that we should come to an understanding with the Illyrians. Hours later, tempers are flaring and attacks on the Senate floor are becoming personal. A few senators are desperately trying to make eye contact with Metius Cornelius Scipio, hoping he will be able to table the motion. Yeah, don't trust this guy to do anything right. This guy's a complete moron. Okay, so I guess this is how we could spend 50 PI, or... Well, that seems like a better option to me. How come this is even a choice? 50% chance of nothing happens? Or, get this, 50% chance of nothing happens. So I had to wait to get 50 PI just to not spend the... I mean, I'm not going to complain about that, but... Alright, they'll not have our lands this easily. This seems as though these should be, like, getting claims on people. But interestingly, I'm not getting any claims from this, so... I guess we'll see in the next half year if I get some claims. I sure hope that I do. I think I've got claims on... I have a claim on Dalmatia. That's it, though. That's okay, though. Dalmatia's the main one that I want to target anyways, so... Interesting. I guess we'll see where this goes. I guess Dalmatia brings in many of the other people around here. All the other small people, at least. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll just wait and see at this point. Okay. The Seleucids are building up their naval strength very fast. So they are making a play in some form or another. A petitioner approaches. A mature individual by the name of Cornelia Tertia. That's a weird way to start talking about this woman. Alright, approached our consul in private this morning. In a hushed voice, she spoke of a vision of the near future in which she was found by her loved ones having been sacrificed to dark gods. With shaking hands, she offered all her worldly goods to the state in return for our protection. So, we could have her sacrificed to dark gods. This is Crusader Kings II ass option right now. I wasn't expecting that, because he's a lunatic. Okay, you know what, Matthias, I'm being too mean to you. This is actually pretty funny. So we could kill her and get the money. Actually, killing her would give us more money. So, okay, the options are... Because incidentally, she's a Bonnie, but she's not an officer. She's a family character, though. 100 gold, so that's nice. Or 3 stability, which at the minute is worth more than 100 gold. Or we could actually kill her and get 300 gold. I mean, okay. This is tempting. I'm not going to lie, just because this is really funny. But I probably should get the stability. I think 3 stability is worth more than 300 gold right now. I'm not going to lie. Convince her that all is well. Yeah. Sorry, I know that's boring, but I need the stability. Speaking of which, Manius Claudius is cultivating quite the reputation as a man of decency and honor. Such virtues give our citizens good reason to feel safe, secure, and stable. Splendid. 3 more stability. That's going to help a lot. Appreciate that. Minus 0.33 tyranny per month. That is nice and brisk. All right, we're in a good shape. I can't talk right now. We're in good shape to just wait out the rest of. What's the problem? Disloyalty inspires. Someone's meddling with this guy. Ugh. All right. Let's see here. Be okay now. Anyways, what I was saying a minute ago before I got interrupted by corruption is that we're in good shape to just kind of wait out the rest of this guy's term, just using his charisma as best we can to keep that tyranny lowering, and hopefully getting ourselves a better consul next time. Incidentally, this next consular pair looks much better than the current one. Although, let's look at their corruption. Okay, this guy here, corrupt, something like that. 136th Olympiad. Since the glory days of mighty Atticles, the young men of Greece have, every 4 years, competed in the Olympic Games in order to win fame and fortune for themselves and glory for their nation. Held in Olympia, the Games are an opportunity for all of Greece to lay down arms, embrace, and pay homage to their forefathers. As we control the ancient site of the Games, it is our duty to hold the Games this year. We should think carefully before proclaiming otherwise. Yeah, of course, we'll hold the Games. That's fine. Come marvel at our Roman roads over here. Very cool. Certified road possessor. That's me. Alright, whoever taught me the English language made a terrible mistake. I probably regret it every day, having maybe seen my content. Oh yeah, I think we actually built all those ships already, so that's the wrong button. Continue building here. So, alright, so we're at 58, so we're going to need 32. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'll just wait for these to finish now. Should be fine. Okay. These guys are still fighting? Or now they're fighting Galilee as well. Oh, hello. That is a breakaway state. Alright, if you guys could somehow survive this war... Oh my god. What? Galilee going crazy. Alright, Galilee, I'm rooting for you. If you could survive this war and become at peace, I am guaranteeing you instantly. This is some additional buffer material for the border between the Seleucids and the Ptolemaics, so that's pretty good. I guess I should spend my PI as well on some stuff, shouldn't I? Let me wait to spend it on getting permanent shipyards replaced in just a bit here. We're almost there. Alright. Pretty chill episode so far. Wow. This city-state is just going crazy. Like, I don't have any idea how they're pulling this off. Maybe they're using mercenaries or something. Ptolemaics may lose their stuff in Anatolia just from the rebellion, honestly, or whatever is happening there. Pretty crazy stuff right there. Not gonna lie. Alright. Good. A few more ships to finish. A mild stance towards pirates. Well, alright, I guess that's fine. After a debate that lasted an entire day in which many bold proclamations were uttered by the finest orators in the Roman Senate, absolutely nothing was achieved, unlike democratic governments elsewhere in time and place. Alright, although Metius Cornelius Scipio vowed to continue on with deliberations once the Senate convened again, the motion was promptly ignored by his fellow senators, who decided to turn the daily discussions to the ever-present question of land reform. Oh no. We have better things to do at the moment, so I guess we didn't get any claims on anybody. That's great. You know what's really funny is that we can get a ship recruit speed bonus right after I built all my ships. Oh well, this would not have been that big of a deal, and it also lasts for a full, what's that, 15 years or something? That's a long, it's a lot of years, multiple decades. And national commerce income, that's pretty good. We have reached the end of our patience with the pirate problems we are facing in the Mare Subarum, and I've decided that we shall uproot these pirates once and for all. Sounds good to me. What's next? We have to just own this stuff. So, it's like the, you know, the Megamind meme, but what it would say for this is no claims. Someone please make that and share it with me. I'll put it on the channel. Alright, so we get no claims on the Illyrians because life is pain, I guess. So we have a claim on Dalmatia as it is. We do have a border with them, so that's a good start. We could take this anyways because it's close enough. They would bring in Piaria. They'd also bring in Piaria again through this. They also bring in Teutonia and Chersis, so I guess that's fine. We could start actually with the war, oddly, on Insubria and just get the territory that's in Illyria and then have the truce with them to fight them and take the stuff again later. That's a weird way of doing it, but this would give us a good beachhead, and this should be very easy to take. This is completely unfortified. That being said, I'd rather just wait until I have a good leader for that. There's really no rush here. There's no pressure to like conquer the stuff right this second. It's just more territory that we have to, you know, slowly and painfully, you know, deal with extreme anger from everybody there. So, on the plus side, my loyalty situation is largely resolved, or resolving. It's going in the right directions, at least. Alright, let's just finish these boats and then finish getting the transport fleet up and going here. And then there's a few more. We can just finish the last of these, so... Oh boy, I'm not going to be able to read... or rather, let me do it like this. Yeah, I'm going to wait for them to all get here so I can see how many are left. I forgot the number I still need to build. I don't want to build the wrong number. Alright. 136th Olympic Games conclude. The Great Olympic Games have come to an end with much rejoicing and celebration. The highlight of this year's games was during the Pygmachia, a dangerous fist-fighting event. Aratus of Bactria was disqualified after attempting to gouge out the eyes of his sparring partner, Carazula of Lysimachia. Wait, didn't Bactria and Lysimachia, weren't they also the champions in the previous Olympics? Am I remembering that right? This is a weird coincidence if that's so. Anyways, the overall victor was declared to be Aratus Aratides of Bactria, who is he's just some guy from their nation, twice the winner of the games, whose brawn, virility, and Heraclean vigor are beyond compare. And now he will go down in the annals of history as a champion of the Olympiad. A splendid event. Thanks everybody for coming. Really appreciate it. Please exit through the gift shop. Thank you. Alright. Oh! Wait, hold on. I may be overreacting. Okay, I thought this would have been the Marian collapse, but I got excited over nothing. That's alright. I'll pull out my old man excitement voice for in the future whenever the collapse does happen. Hopefully at some point. Alright, we're nearly there. Let's see. 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. So, yeah, that should be right. So we should just need to build 23 more ships. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That looks like the right amount to me. And then we'll go ahead and finally switch off of shipyards, probably just back onto martial ethos. I think we just need the morale, given the hard AI. No need to get fancy here. The rest of this looks fine to me. Yeah, we really can't switch any of these right now. Definitely not. We could switch to an oligarchic republic for what that's worth. Losing the morale slot, losing the slot to have morale, I think is a questionable help. And what is this? Monthly wages reduction, I think, and citizen happiness? I suppose those would be handy, but I think freeman happiness and loyalty of characters works fine for now. I think, what's the one that I really liked? I think Theocratic Republic gives me, yeah, Omen Power and State Religion Happiness is pretty handy. Plutocratic. It's not amazing. What do I think about this? Imperial Cult could be quite good. Oh yeah, that's quite good. But this is hard to get. You need to have 200... Actually, we already have 200 territories. Or actually, we need to have 4 deified rulers to do this, though, and Divinity Statute, so never mind. Oh well. Maybe someday we'll try that out, but probably not. Incidentally, I'm not sure if I want to stay as a republic or, in a historical manner, become an empire. It could be fun to play as a permanent republic Rome, but dealing with the republic nonsense is so annoying sometimes, which I guess is why in real life Rome kind of was switched, or kind of changed its approaches. So, I don't know. Could certainly be interesting to become an imperial system and sort of follow that route, but there's pros and cons for sure. The Republic form definitely has its downsides when it comes to governing a lot of territory. Aims the Bani realized. Oh, I guess I lost enough tyranny for them to be happy with that. Partisans of the Bani are practically falling over each other to congratulate Consul Metius for defending their interests in the Senate of Rome. Ensuring the concerns of the conservatives were addressed will help to win their support in future disputes. If you could just have me lose a bit more tyranny, that'd be nice, but no. Alright, well, didn't even plan to do that, but that works for me. Alright, the Optimates are losing ground a little bit, but what I really need is for non-Optimates to win the election. I could only see who's in what position. That'd be really neat if that could happen. I guess I could interfere by tanking the popularity of these guys, but wouldn't do that much, honestly. Yeah, it wouldn't even be a full amount. I just don't have a good answer here. Can I, like, have this guy switch his party? Is that possible? He's not that far away from the Bani, honestly. Not that I can really think of. I don't know if there's a way to do this. Let me think about this. We could also do some of these interactions down here, but I don't think that's going to be super helpful at the minute. I think we'll just leave it as it is. Okay, well, the main consul would be someone with no corruption. 8-7 is more than fine. Co-consul would add in 1 extra marshal. This next consulship would have very low charisma, so it would be the opposite problem. And only 6 seals, so better for, like, a war. So during this period, when's my truce with Wakantia up? Let's check and see. 5/23, so this is going to be... This would be in the next consulship. It'd be in the middle of the next consulship. Maybe we could squeeze in a war there. I'd feel more confident with the better marshal in charge. Definitely would feel more confident. We could also go to war with Insubria first, because we don't have a truce with them. And then, in a weird way, conquer Insubria and then attack Wakantia from within Cisalpine Gaul. That's actually probably not a bad idea. Yeah, I think that might be what we go for. So we'll just continue staying at peace for now. Just kind of slowly make our way. Also, who's this guy in charge of? Illyria. Alright, that's fine. We can replace someone in Illyria, no problem. We'll just continue saving up our resources for next episode. I know this has been kind of a boring episode and just mostly me complaining about playing as a republic, but it's specifically playing as this guy in particular that is grating on me. Plus, once these guys are no longer consul, we're not going to be paying their outrageous wages. So that's going to be nice once that is addressed. And all the boats are coming into place there. Very good. You know what I could do as well, actually? You know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and just be on the absolute safe side. Do that. Stab the pig, get the extra stability. I think that's going to help me. And then we'll save up stability for now. I guess I could have built some cities, actually. That probably would have been a better use of my PI. But getting the stability nice and up is going to be a good option here. All right, ships are getting into their places nice and easily here. Raided in Dardania. That's actually quite a convenient place for this event to happen, as this will allow us to go ahead and replace the stockpiles either ourselves or making Appius do it. This poor guy split away half of his region to be governed by themselves. He's not going to like this. He's going to become 31, so you know what? We can afford this just fine. We'll cover the costs. We've read this event so many times, I'm not going to bother reading it. Alright, we have loyal Dardania, at least for a minute here. That's good. What I should do is make Hamium a city so I can build some infrastructure up there. And otherwise, what can I do here? Not much, but it is getting better. This is now, anything below 0.1 trend is really okay to leave as it is. So we'll just leave this to slowly stay in loyalty. That's handy. Alright, the massive flotilla here in Ostia is getting assembled. We'll be able to transport the gigantic Italian levy around, and perhaps eventually the gigantic Italian legion around. I think between episodes I'll do some research on legion composition, especially in Terra Indomita with all the changes that it made, so I can come up in the next episode when I have a better martial leader. Although at that point it won't matter, because legions are led by legates and by, you know, they're not led by the governor, so it sort of doesn't matter as much, although having the good marshal will still help the Legion indirectly from the national modifier, so it's more about just theming the episode, I suppose. But whatever the case, everything's trending up now, except for Campania, which oddly is not trending up. What's the problem here? I sort of don't know what the issue here is. I don't think it's in bad shape. It's still loyal. It is still loyal for a minute here. It's super close. Let me just add some infrastructure to fix this. Do we build here already? I guess, yeah, this is a manpower province, isn't it? Let me check my handy-dandy notes here to see what I actually said about... Yeah, Campania is manpower. I could have seen that from the buildings I have out here. But whatever the case, in Capua and Neapolis, let us build... Let me think about this, what I'm going to build here. I guess Grand Theaters would be the thing to build. I'd rather do this under the Bonnie, because those are expensive. Let me just get some stone going. Cancel the fish for a second. I'm sure I can get fish again. And get some stone. There we go. I'm going to build some of these theaters. That's 0.03, 0.06. And then that will make it very close. And then I guess what else can I build here? Court of Laws. Although, I guess Citizens Arid ratio is good for a manpower province, so I will eventually keep these anyways. So let's build, do I want to build a whole bunch of them? Not really, well I don't have Bonnie. Let's just get maybe one in each, so that we have positive trend. And the tyranny going down should also fix it, although actually, let me hold off on these. I'm going to do this deeper construction stuff under the Bonnie when I have the big discount, so... The tyranny going down should even things out with the Grand Theaters fixing stuff, so should be okay ultimately, I think. Alright, switch off the stone, and I guess we'll take a chance to look and see, do we have any better trade routes available now? Possibly. Let me think about this. We want to get surplus of rice. Probably it's worth grabbing that, to be honest. The extra, also the extra food itself is great, but the food modifier is pretty strong. And then, actually I canceled fish to get this, so I need to cancel something to be able to get fish again. maybe I cancel the grain. I think I do, actually. Let's get fish surplus again. That is non-negotiable. Alright, that's fine. We'll mess around with this at some other point. Alright. Looking good. Okay. Peace. It's declared. Looks like, actually, hold on. Who declared peace? Oh, these guys were fighting somebody else, too, I think. Alright. Interesting. And sorry for the slightly slower and, not really slower, but the slightly quieter episode. There's just sort of not too much to do at the minute. We're just recovering everything. Building up our resources, getting a good stockpile of everything for the next consulship. Alright, these last couple ships will bring us to that 100 Liburnian massive flotilla to carry around our levies and later our legions. Not very safely, because they're going to be quite vulnerable, but they can be protected by our war fleets just fine. Looks good to me. Alright. Save up our PI for now. We have to, let's see, what we're going to get here. Yeah, Illyria, we're going to end up having to possibly switch this policy once we get someone new here. Worry about that later. Oh man, I really would like for there to be non-optimates being elected, but I can't do anything. I don't even know if there's any non-optimates anywhere near these succession support numbers. I think I just have to make my way through a few more consulships of optimates to get away from these war declaration missions. If the next optimates Senate demands war again with someone else, maybe Carthage, I'm going to be pretty annoyed. Not my thing, for sure. Alright. Marian collapse, you happening soon? Your guy does have dementia. That's not good. So I think that's dementia. Hold on, did I miscount the numbers here? Whoops, sorry, yeah, we're at 100 already. Well, pretty minor mistake. Let's cancel this, or cancel, let's destroy the ship. Alright, and with that, our navies are finally updated. It's been a long time that I've been trying to get these navies constructed, and it's finally complete. What is happening up here? What? Okay, Galatia's up to some weird business. I don't know what Galatia's been up to, but pretty strange. Anyways, the navies are finally complete. That's pretty good. We're in really good shape now for any naval action for the rest of the mid-game and probably most of the late game. Maybe Ptolemaics rebuild their naval strength. They are rebuilding up to some extent, but we are definitely blowing everybody out of the water. Even though most of these ships aren't very good for combat, the number is what the AI is going to know about, so we may scare everyone around us into not contesting the seas with this number, just on its own. A minor addendum. Manius Claudius has suggested a small addendum to an often referenced law pertaining to the right of the common folk. It should only be a small effort to push this through the Senate. Yeah, I think so. 6 stability for 10 PI is a good trade. We have a lot of stability right now, but no reason not to just sort of sort of stack up the stability nice and high before next episode possibly doing some serious conquering. I guess we'll see. I feel like many strategy players, I have a bad tendency to really enjoy the openings of strategy campaigns, then it kind of gets repetitive and frustrating as it progresses. But I think that that's sort of a me problem. Like, it's something that I need to overcome, because this game is much more interesting the more complicated it gets, and I want to be able to enjoy deeper into campaigns. And with the Rome campaign, because this is a campaign that's like the classic Imperator Rome kind of campaign, there's that extra pressure of, you know, seeing it through all the way and not just giving up midway because there's minor inconveniences. For example, discovering that I could release this place as Mavigum was such a great solution, because I felt like I'm never going to get this under control, you know, it's so frustrating. But there was a solution. I just had to think outside the box a little bit. And that's what I hope I can continue doing throughout the Rome campaign. Even if I stumble, you know, it's not about making every step perfectly, it's about being able to keep making those steps, right? That's what I'm going to tell myself, at least. And that's going to be the way that I try to approach this. Alright, Maria's fighting somebody. Who are they fighting? What is this? Oh my gosh, it's a rebellion. Interesting. Heresy. Ambon Terracidus of Wasconia has been deified. I don't care about... Why am I being alerted about heresies? Can't it be for heresies of people in my own religion? I guess it's going to tell me about every deification anyone does, but I want to know about Hellenic deifications. That's it. Don't tell me about the Druidic ones, or whatever. Let's go ahead and grab... I think we just grab Ambassadors again. No reason not to, of these options here. And then are you still doing Scheme Influence? Yeah, you are. Good. Good, good, good. We continue. Alright. Yeah, also sorry that this episode took longer than you may have expected to be released. I recently started working full-time. There's actually about an 8-month period that I was unemployed and going through a big transition, moving from my native Pacific Northwest out here to the Midwest where I live now. And I had to get my law license, and I had to, get everything set up and do the whole move. And, moving across the country is always a big ordeal. It was expensive. I had to save a lot of money for that. So, but it's finally all over. My last week was my first full week of working as an attorney at a law office that hired me. And things were going great. So definitely my life's in a great spot right now. But the one downside of not being able to play Imperator Rome nearly as often, because I'm working full-time every single weekday. So while I'll continue to have the kind of irregular, non-planned schedule for the channel going forward, as I've changed from when I had the brief excursion to the other channel, I can sort of generally guess that probably both Imperator Rome and my new ESO series will be probably on average maybe once a week or so. The ESO one might be a bit easier to do more often because it requires less brain power than playing Imperator Rome in many ways. So I can play it more often without feeling overwhelmed by the depth of what's going on. But generally for the Rome campaign, I should be able to pull out an episode at least once a week, if not a bit faster. I'm just after work right now because I'm starting I've just started it. I'm so exhausted from learning everything that I'm sort of not in a good headspace to play a 4-hour session of Imperator Rome. Hopefully you can all understand. Anyways, March of Time. Speaking of this topic, age finds us all in the end. Even the priests and surgeons shake their heads when confronted with the inevitable decline of the human body, as Metius Cornelius Scipio is finding out he may not have much time left. How sad. Diphtheria. All right. Well, that's a shame, but his main purpose for us is lowering that tyranny. He's doing a good job at that so far, so I can't blame him. I think I've been too mean to him this whole episode. I've just been yelling at him and abusing him. This poor guy. I mean, he's the consul of Rome, so I shouldn't give him too much slack to be a screw-up because he's in an important position. But he's very charismatic, so he's pulling his weight there. Tyranny has been declining at a reasonable rate, so I definitely like that. And the next consoles won't exactly have the same charisma power on display, so it's going to be not as much decline. But it already went down nearly 20 points in this one consulship, so that's a good start. Best we can do, honestly, lowering tyranny in this game is just a very slow matter of kind of waiting for it to happen. What are you guys doing here, by the way? These guys are just stationary. But anyways, yeah, we got our ships built. Ptolemaics are also building up their naval strength. These Grand Theaters are done. Very nice. That means this should now be, after the tick, maybe it'll update. I said after the tick, maybe it'll update. Where's my update? Territory provincial loyalty plus 0.3. It should be near 0 now, shouldn't it? Did I miscount somehow? Alright, who knows. We'll just wait for it to... It'll fix eventually. It's just a matter of time. Plus, the folks will assimilate faster in Capua and Neapolis, so it should be alright. Anyways, but... Yeah, so I'm working full-time now, and obviously that changes both my schedule to do recordings and my energy level, and I want to make sure that I'm not just, slumping over to do an Imperator Rome video and be completely tapped out. I want to be able to engage with it, but doing a 3-hour, sometimes a 4-hour, or even a 2-hour recording session kind of takes a lot of my energy because this is a very involved game, and I'm obviously commenting over it on quite an involved way. I'm sure all of you understand, though. I don't think I need to go on about that. Popular vote. Some politicians simply can't avoid consorting with the common folk. The ringleader of this rabble, however, one Drusus Valerius Paulus, brings an interesting deal to the table. In return for the support of many of the deplorable populace, he would demand that we close an important trade route to our capital, thereby providing the local people with greater control over their own affairs. Oh boy. I can't justify 15% freeman happiness reduction from all of my country for 2 years. That's going to be too painful on loyalty. This is only temporary. We can maybe try and control what we lose if we're precise. Let's try to cancel one grain trade so that it targets the empty trade route and not something else. Alright. Let me see what we end up getting here. Not an unreasonable request. Alright, I think it targeted the empty grain trade, so I think we're fine. Close call, though. That would be bad if that targeted something more important than that. But, yeah. We actually have enough splendor. Oh, we can start a Golden Age. I didn't expect that we could do this. We have 3 of the 4. Yeah, we have 3 things right now. Force of Poseidon, all roads lead to Rome, and Spread of Hellenistic Ways. Wow, we could just do a Golden Age. And I kind of think it might be worth doing that, although maybe not necessarily until the election, so that we can start the next consulship with a big, powerful boost helping us out. The Golden Age mechanic seems to be, so it's 300 months, which let me check and see. I think that's 20 years. Let me check and see how long this actually is. 25, so it'd be 25 years of Golden Age. And this is also on top of being able to grab one more Splendor thing. What did we get before? I think we got the build cost, or city building reduction. How am I going to find this in the list, actually? Oh my gosh. We got something before. Oh, we got convincing conversions, that's right. So I know from previous campaigns that I've done with Terra Indomita that these bonuses don't stack on each other, or they don't seem to stack on each other. So going through this again would not help me much. I think at the minute what I probably want to do, to be completely honest, I could grab Legion Recruitment, because I'm thinking about building a Legion. That's actually probably a good idea to get this now. This would save me a lot of money going into the next episode. Let's grab this. To serve in our Legion is one of the highest military honors that can be obtained by the upper classes, with many hoping for the privilege. Alright. And then I think I'll start the Golden Age at the start of the next episode. That looks good to me. We are way ahead in the score. Even Shin is barely keeping up with us. And they're really not. They're way behind. That's pretty good. Alright. I think a Golden Age is just the sort of thing that's going to raise my spirits. Yeah, this campaign has, you know, it's been frustrating sometimes, but I think that's fair. You know, this isn't supposed to be an easy campaign by any means. And I'm not playing it in the most, you know, chill, easy way. I mean, it'd be easier to play this campaign at, like, a faster speed and just kind of go to war when you have, like, tons and tons of resources to do it. But I'm trying to min-max it, so it's tough, but it's rewarding, you know? Like, I'm actually pulling something off here that feels really satisfying to do. So, at the end of the day, you know, this is an experience that I'm enjoying and that hopefully all of you are enjoying. Hope you don't mind how much I, you know, complain and, you know, kind of express my frustration sometimes. But it's out of a place of love, right? Like, I really, really like Imperator Rome. I'm sure that's obvious. You know, if I just blindly said, oh, like, everything in this game is perfect, that wouldn't be true. Like, this game does have many problems, but it's more about the idea of what this game can be and the experience that you can have that's so elusive and so enticing that makes me willing to kind of, you know, suffer through bad UI and weird events and bad balancing and lots of just unusual things that are frustrating sometimes. Breakthrough. The talent of Claudia Secunda knows no bounds. In her role as researcher, she dictates that her capacity for further innovation has increased. We're sure to benefit from this situation. Alright, that works for me. What do I want to grab here? I should probably grab Polybius Square. But I could wait to get this. I don't need this right now. Actually, let me be right back, and then I'll decide when I get back. Give me just a quick sec. I gotta grab something. Alright. So, what am I getting here? Let's see. There are some good options here for sure. 6% happiness for all the Romans would be quite nice, honestly. That would be quite nice. We already have max manpower, so this is wasted. You know what? Public slavery might be good to grab now. As being able to imprison... actually, being able to imprison corrupt characters would be really handy to avoid another corrupt character becoming consul. Yeah, no tyranny or ruler popularity penalty. This would be quite handy, actually. Yeah, let's grab this. All right, public slavery. Slaves owned by the state were championed by various regimes. In Rome, a servus publicus would perform one of a number of civic duties ranging from basic servile tasks to menial bureaucratic work. All right. Now here's the question. Does this guy with corrupt count as having... Doesn't seem so. Let me read what this said again, carefully. Secret gamblers in debt or corrupt. It says corrupt. But this guy literally has the trait corrupt. Is that not what that means? I mean, this is not actually that big of a cost, to be honest. I mean, the optimatus don't like that, but who cares what they think? He loses extreme loyalty. If I imprison him, I sort of need to kill him. He can't come back into politics. This is a weird idea, but this is one way to force someone who's not him to be in the succession support. Actually, it's not the primary. I can't do it with this guy. Also, you know what? I just remembered. I never did my... I could do it now. Yeah, let me do impose sanctions on Fabia Prima. Bonnie don't like this so much, but that's fine. This gives me tyranny? Really? It's tyrannical to sanction someone for corruption? Alright, sure, whatever. This is going to be worth it. And then let's revoke free hands. Good. Never mind, shouldn't have done that. Actually, this is fine, because I can bribe her. Alright. Dodged a bullet there. That was more than I was expecting. I always forget that revoking free hands both removes the free hands loyalty and also imposes another loyalty penalty on top of that, so definitely don't get caught off guard by that. Alright, having done that. Let's see. This would be basically free to do. I want to know who the next guy after this one is. Is there time to even do this? November, December. I've basically 2 ticks for this to update. This is a dice roll, because if this is not going to be what works, we don't have enough time to change it again, right? This guy is almost for sure what's happening, because whoever is next after Lepidus has to have less than 38 support. Although once this guy's in prison, can he be supported from prison? I actually don't know how that works. Once he's in prison, all of his support should switch over to whoever's next, so maybe it's a big change. Because think about it like this, right? We know 1 popularity supports this guy, and how about here? 1 popularity, I think it's the same popularity. So it's possible that the next highest person after this guy has all of the other popularity support and all of the Bonnie support. And if this guy isn't supportable by the optimatus, perhaps those 35 optimatus then support the next person, making his replacement have more total support than powerless. But I don't know if that's what's happening, and I wish I could know if that's what's happening, because that would be great information to manipulate this election. But if I go for this, the tyranny cost is negligible. This guy, though, is basically, I can't use him ever again for anything. I need to sort of keep him in prison, because he'll have such low loyalty. How much power base does he have as well? Nothing important, 0 power base. Alright, I'm going to give this a try. I really, really, really don't want to have a double optimatus consulship again, and having extra corruption on one of these consuls would be nice to avoid, so put him in prison. Okay. Who's this? Okay, Quintus Fabius Gurgus of the Popularis is next, 31. So some of the Optimates support him. Almost all the Popularis support him, and some of the Boni support him. Okay. This would be fine. 6566. Okay. I can't do anything to this guy in time. I can't imprison the direct heir. But the co-consul doesn't count as the heir. That's why I'm allowed to do this. So all I can do... I guess what I could do... I could smear this guy. I don't think that would do enough, though, to change things. It's risky. Only 8 popularity lost. I could kick him out of office to reduce his power level. Let me replace him with Valeria Secunda, actually. Similar stats, slightly worse martial, but that's not a big deal. She should be fairly loyal. She's ambitious, though. I don't like that, but whatever. That's fine. And then this is all happening right at the very last minute, so this may not be enough time to do this. All right, now that I've done that, let me also smear. Let me just, I'm going all in here, smearing his reputation. And then let's take these ticks and see if this has been adjusted. His succession support did fall, but not by much. I'm really hoping that this can do something here. He's way above the second place guy. But that's because of all the Optimates. What I need to have is a different Optimates if I want to have this guy not be the main guy. Because the Optimates won't support someone else who's not also an Optimates, and that's just not really feasible right now. This guy's fine as the consul. No corruption. 8-7 is good. And then we'll be borrowing... Okay, 6-6 is better for the borrowers. So this is still a good play, even just to replace the co-consul with somebody better. Although this guy also has... His nefarious tendencies, and he has cancer. Oh my god! All right. Okay, can I get someone other than this guy actually? Perhaps. He has no office. What do you mean he has no office? Oh, I guess he can't have an office to be imprisoned. He's the Pontifex Maximus. I could imprison this guy too. Am I allowed to? Does this have a cost because he has nefarious tendencies? I'm not entirely sure. I don't think so. We gain 5 tyranny for doing that. That's not really feasible. Man. Let me think about this. I can revoke free hands once he's in office. He'll have 100 loyalty for sure. I don't have any idea what the next most likely supporter is. Let me smear his reputation, just in case someone better than him is behind him. And on the December tick, we'll see if that's what's happening. And maybe on the January tick. This is some last-minute political shenanigans, but I just want to set myself up for a good next consulship, if I can help it. We have so much money, so much PI saved up, so much manpower. Our navies are ready. We're basically rearing and ready to go, and to start with the Golden Age, too. Let's see on the tick what we're dealing with here. Okay. Okay. You know what? Hold on, wait. Okay, I don't like that so much, but 10 charisma, 6 zeal. I have managed to stumble my way into a much better co-consul. So we're going to have an 8-7, 10-6 at the end of things. So that's pretty good. So we're going to actually maintain our good tyranny loss from the 10 charisma. This works for me, and it's also a Popularis, which is what I was hoping for. So that's going to help cut down the power of the Optimates in the election. So I'm going to go with this. So this is fine by me. This guy also is super popular, so I could get a lot of damage done with smearing. But I think I'm okay with this. 10. I'm looking for someone to give some extra charisma, so that's what he does. And someone who's not Optimates, and that's also the case here. So this looks fine to me. All right. I'm satisfied with these election results. Let's make our way into the election of 520 and see how things are looking at that point. But yeah, this looks fine to me. We're going to have a good martial consul to lead the Italian levy. Possibly, well, maybe we'll end up making the legions. I guess we'll see in a minute what I decide to do. Or not in a minute, but we'll see in the next episode what I decide to do with that. All right. Cossus Valerius Paulus, with our rule, our glorious nation, 8716. Optimatus remain in control for the national noble output that went to grant holdings, that's fine. Senatorial resistance. Cassius Valerius Paulus has proven to be a contentious candidate as consul. Previously an outspoken critic of the government, he was spoken of with contempt during meetings of the Senate. All were surprised, therefore, when he was elected to rule Rome, casting aside any notions of propriety and class. This guy's an Optimatus. What are you talking about? Okay, whatever. With such underwhelming popularity among the elite, it is hard to see how Cassius will get anything done. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and lose the approval from the Popularis and the Boni. That's fine to do right now. Alright, so we've got ourselves now the year of Cassius and Drusus for next episode. This looks much better stat-wise than what we had before. Looks like we've got an Optimatus and an Optimatus coming in next. Gonna have to see if I can adjust this. This is our previous co-consul. And the power of the Senate hasn't changed really at all. We'll see if on a reload for the next episode it does change. Whatever the case, that's going to be it for this episode of the Rome campaign. One of the shorter and more annoyed episodes that I've had. But I was just dealing with such a bad main consul, and the Optimatus forcing me into a war with Volcantia when I didn't really want to do it. But Volcantia is getting smacked around by Lemowicia right now, so we're in good shape to go for them a few years in when our truce with them is up, and we can go and fight in Subria in the meantime, and just in general get up to some no good with our powerful armies, now under a much better leader, possibly even with some legions getting set up. I'll take a look between episodes at the legion meta for Terra Indomita to make sure that I know what I'm doing, and we may also, on top of all that, start a golden age in the next episode to sort of try to have a strong mid-game here for the campaign. Hopefully all my complaints are understood in their context as coming from a place of love and wishing that I just had a better time playing this game that I really do enjoy playing. But no matter how much I can get annoyed at Imperator Rome, I always come back to it no matter how much time I try to step away from it. This is just such an addictive game for me, and I really want to continue trying to create the best possible campaign for all of you, and something that can really bring all of you joy as presumably people that really like Imperator Rome as well. So with all that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.